So hi everyone, we are talking about Mexican peso crisis. It's divided in four. The first one, the main causes, financial system wrong, macroeconomic indicators, and the last one is export and import impact.
The main causes of the Mexican crisis, we can develop them by four. The first one of those is the spending spree. The second one, the uprising and revolution. The third one, the assassination and instability. And the fourth one, the hyperinflation. We have here a main cause that was petroleum. Why? Because Mexico's economy was based on the petroleum, and then the price changes in order that Mexico could not be able to approach or to have the same prices that they were developing before from the European banks. That loan was with a rate that was variable, so they had less pesos in order to pay, so they could not be able to pay their loan. So that's one of the main causes of the Mexican crisis. They did not take a good decision by the government, so they took a loan that they cannot be able to pay.
Hi, today I'm talking about the macroeconomics indicator for Mexican crisis. So the GDP is an indicator to reflect the health of the country. In 93, the GDP began to decrease to the 94. So the indicators was $573. But in the next year, in 94, begin to decline to $421,000. But in 95 is the most year important because this year are the consequence to the 94. So the indicator was $360,000. So the currency balance in 94 it was minus 29 millions for $1,000. But the next year in 94 it was minus 100.50. Imports are more than exports. This is for the consequence to the crisis in 94, and obviously to the crisis it has a consequence to 95. The government implemented policies for get out to the crisis to increase more the exports than imports for the surplus that not to deficits for the economy.
So talking about the financial system, previous to the crisis, the devaluation of the peso caused that so the government started to implement some policies in order that the bank system increase the investments and also recover the regulations and the lack of transparency of these financial investors. Also, because of the excess of credit, most of the banks didn't have money to continue with the operation. Because of the devaluation of the peso and the crisis, most of the investors in Mexico were taking out their money. Because of this, the financial system were in a crisis too. So the government started to help with the bankruptcy of the banks. For this reason, they invest in the banks in order that the institutions were more strong and the population have the funds in order to pay their loans.
Listo. According to the above, export growth is slowed with respect to imports. For the importers, it was more expensive to carry out this process, and the exporters did not have material to export as money. However, with the policy of banks, it diverted from the productive to speculative, hindering in the alleged internal productive modernization. This helped to reduce inflation, but it covered the dynamics of growth, affecting the trade balance